Hey y'all, welcome back to the Free Black Women's Library YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please do me a favor and thumbs up this video. And while you're at it, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. This is another Rambly reaction. This one is to Season 1, Episode 5 of the new series, currently streaming on Starz Network. It is called Run the World. And yeah, it's Season 1. It's a new show. I'm so curious. I've been trying to look and check the news to see if it's been picked up for a Season 2. I'm really I feel like they need to announce that soon because from what I understand, it is an 8-week season, 8-episode season. And this is episode 5, so we're at the halfway point. I wonder if the wedding will be the season finale and they'll leave us on a cliffhanger, will they or won't they? I don't know. I tend to really get into predictions. That's my Aquarius futurist mind thinking, but anyway, let's get into this episode. It's called Plus Ones, and it's written by Jerry Brown. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And this one had a really interesting feel to it for me. It felt very subtle and very quiet. Not really a lot went on, but there was some depth to the stories that were told. So it starts out with Sandy and Matthew. Right where we left off last week. The school now knows that they're in a relationship, and I guess they had to go up against a review board, disciplinary board. I don't know. I'm not an academic. I don't know how these things work, but obviously they need to testify to their relationship, and so they come up with a plan, and they have this one interesting moment where Sandy's like, oh, we should say we've been together 2 years. Matthew says 6 months. I'm like, which one is the truth? I feel like it's 2 years. So Matthew's thinking about lying, and I'm like, is Matthew a liar? I feel like we're getting some clues that he is, but either way, they tell their story. Have you ever had sex on campus? Really funny scene of them fucking all over the college campus, which was hilarious, and yeah, I'm not gonna say relatable, but yeah. Anyway, so they got off kind of easy. I'm not sure why they were so nervous because it looks like they're not really suffering any real consequence outside of the fact that Sandy has to find a new advisor because Matthew is her advisor, and you can't be in a sexual romantic relationship with the person who's supposed to be reviewing your work, giving you advice. I can see how boundaries can get messy, so it makes sense. So Sandy moves in, which I personally did not like because I'm like, you have a dope new apartment on your own, but I am the kind of person who believes that people in relationships should have separate residences. That's just my romantic style. So, but her apartment was so awesome, and I really hope she didn't give it up. She moves in with Matthew right away. They have a housewarming party. Not just because she moves in, but also because Sandy's trying to curry favor with another advisor that's at the school. So this is their way of announcing their relationship, having a housewarming, and for Sandy to kind of be very charming and very beautiful and very Susie homemaker. Ella calls her a grit, which is a new term to me. Have y'all heard that term before? Girls from the South. I don't know how I feel about that, but she, does play this role really, really well. And it's not really too surprising because Sandy's a very outspoken, eloquent, confident woman. So I wasn't too surprised at how she was able to perform that part. The part that bothered me a little bit is because she's our token black feminist, right? And that's why she's my favorite. Just, why did she have to move in with him? I don't know. That part really kind of bugged me, but she looked so pretty. I loved her Susie Homemaker dress. It was giving me Don Draper Mad Men vibes. She slicked down her curls. I was like, okay, I just laid. I guess that's the thing. But there's an interesting woman at the party. Her name is Dawn Baptiste. And I wonder, I don't know. I hope they don't set it up so that she's like becomes Sandy's advisor, because I really don't want like the black female villain role in this show. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too idealistic, but I don't need there to be like this kind of, she's already turned out to be kind of whack. So we'll get to it. So they're at the party, and also, speaking of shade, Armani, the baby, she was throwing a little bit of shade too. But against Sandy, right? Putting the towels in the wrong place and whatnot. I was like, okay, girl. But there's a moment when Dawn Baptiste, this woman, and Sandy have in the kitchen, because she goes down into the kitchen to get a glass, because she's like, I couldn't find a glass anywhere. And Sandy's like, there's a glass, like literally right here on this table, because she was washing dishes. She was being real comfortable in this house, right? I don't go to a party and start washing dishes unless I'm like really good friends with the person whose house it is. And I don't know. I need some clarity around her relationship. But she's like, ooh, for 2 years, somebody's been trying to lay Matthew down, girl. You know, just kind of throwing a little bit of like, making Sandy feel kind of insecure, like all the girls have wanted Matthew and you locked him down, and you know how to cook. The last one he had couldn't cook, but you sure can burn. And you see Sandy gives you some really good face acting here. You can see in her eyes that she's starting to feel a little bit unsure. And then when they go to bed, she asks Matthew, have you ever, am I the first girl that moved in here with you? And he says yes. Is Matthew a liar? Okay. But moving on, we see that the guy that Renee brought, Reed Locke, that name, is there. I don't even know how cute way to say it. They're fucking in the bed, Reed and Renee. He's got this necklace on, and in the necklace it's a locket, and in the locket are the ashes of his dead wife. Renee is like freaking out because she's realizing that he is still holding on to her, which I guess there's nothing wrong with that. But while he's fucking her, he's saying she was the best cook, my best friend, while he's fucking her. So that's gonna be weird. But it was a funny scene, and the thing that separates this show for me from like the CW shows and the WB shows of like the classic like black kind of is the sex scenes. That's what elevates it, I guess. But yeah, that was a funny scene. And then we see our girls, they're at the wedding party because, at the wedding party, the pre-wedding trying things on moment, the pre-game. And they're all looking very pretty. It's a jewel tone blue. Each one of them has their own design. Renee wants to split up hers because she can't really hit the wobble in that dress. And she's telling them about how her and Reed were fucking, and he had on the necklace with his wife's ashes. So what are you going to do about that? She doesn't know, but she wants a split in her dress. Whitney and her mom show up. Her mom is being played by the infamous legendary actress Tanya Pinkins. It was so nice to see her on screen. She was beautiful. I especially loved her in that pink with the pink eyeshadow. You know, I love the eyeshadow matching the dress. Go Tanya. And everybody seems to love Miss Gwen. She's the kind of mama that gets along with all the girls. She was giving me Mrs. Huxtable vibes, like Claire Huxtable vibes, like very confident, very sensual, very smart, very put together, very like, I expect the best from you because you are the best type of mama vibes. And I like that, okay? I like it. And her and Whitney seem to have a strained relationship. Whitney's mad nervous. Whitney's still probably dealing with the guilt of fucking the community peen, Chris. Um, she's still feeling unsure about getting married because she hasn't been with any other man in a relationship outside of Ola. And she's just feeling like, is it last minute jitters? Is it wanting to sow her wild oats before she's locked down? Is it, do I really want to be with this man for the rest of my life? What do y'all think? Either way, Whitney is not ready to get married, and it's becoming more and more evident. And she doesn't really know how to express it at this point, because you're in too deep, girl. You got bridesmaids, you got a maid of honor, you got mad dresses, you got a whole ass Nigerian family that are probably flying from Lagos, okay? What you gonna do, Whitney? You're gonna say, I guess, guys. So Whitney is feeling the pressure, and so she's acting out. She's being mean to her friends. And, you know, I understand it. I have never been engaged or never been that close to getting married, but being tied to somebody that you're not sure about for the rest of your life sounds horrible. So, you know, so they're there at the wedding party, the bridal party. They're all getting dressed up, and we get to meet a new character, Hope. Hope is the maid of honor, and I love this actress. This is my first time seeing her in anything, but I love this actress. I love the character that she represents, as opposed to like the mean kind of like shady, underhanded villain that was Dawn Baptiste. This kind of like quirky, funny, you know. I liked her vibe, and I like that she's her own person. Like, she's not like part of their group. She has her own solid personality, etc., etc. I'm rambling. Whew, let me keep it together. So Hope is fun, and I hope to get to see more of her. She brought some nice, like, lighthearted comic relief. But they have a moment because Ella is trying to bring Anderson to the wedding as her plus one. Renee wants her to uninvite Jason since they're now really getting a divorce. And Sandy is upset because of what not just because of what Dawn Baptiste said, but because the other girls are feeling what she said. Because Dawn Baptiste had this whole rant about how women need to use their sexual relationships and their physical relationships to step up. She called it fucking up, right? You know, don't just give it away, like make it beneficial. And Sonny didn't like that already, because she maybe feels like Dawn is slowly, underhandedly trying to diss her. And in addition to her being in her kitchen. So Sonny's not feeling Dawn Baptiste, but Ella's like, I like what she said. And Renee's like, I thought she was cool. Like, and she's like, y'all are supposed to be my friends. If I hate a bitch, that means y'all don't like her either. And they were just like, listen, relax, calm down. What she said was brilliant. You're just being dramatic. She's like, but y'all heard her talk about that other woman. Like, what the fuck was that about? And they just kind of blow her off. And I think Sandy is not wrong. And that's not just because she's my fave, but also because that woman was trying to throw shade. And she was saying something. She was saying things she didn't have to say. Right? So, anywho. So the girls all make up, and then we get to see Whitney and her mom. They're out to dinner, and they have this really touching, tender moment. And this is what gave me that Claire Huxtable feel, right? That conversation that they had. And we got to see a little bit more insight into Whitney's character and why she is the way she is. Her parents have been together for 33 years. Their marriage sounds like it's really solid. They're really in love. And Whitney's mom is like, I raised you to be the exceptional, phenomenal woman that I see sitting in front of me. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I just want you to be happy. I don't need you to perform happiness. I want you to really be in your happiness. Because Whitney's like, oh, you want me to be perfect? Like, Whitney's putting this pressure on herself, and she thinks it's coming from like her mom. Like maybe she thinks that she's supposed to like duplicate her mom's life. I don't know, but it's obvious that Whitney is at a crossroads right now, and her mom is like, I'm not going to push you in either direction. You're the one who's going to choose which way you want to go, and I'm just going to be here to support you as long as you're happy. That's all that matters to me. And that was kind of sweet and very tender. But also, something that Ella said at the party is like, make sure you don't tell her. And Whitney was like, 72 hours with my mom, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive it. So I think that they're trying to say that Whitney might tell her mom about sleeping with the community peen or having doubts. We shall see. But that's where it ended, and that was the show. So there wasn't like a lot of action, but we did get some really good insight into Whitney's character and into Sandy's character, which is cool because I feel like in the past couple episodes we've been focusing a lot on like Ella and Anderson and a little bit on Renee and Jason. So it was nice to kind of switch it up a little bit. And I'm looking forward to seeing more. I'm enjoying this show. I really hope it gets picked up for a season 2 so that we can really dive into more of these characters and really like build a whole world. Oh, the other thing is that Whitney's mother did mention something that sounded like they were hinting towards COVID. She said, me and your father were together alone for months. And I was like, did they just talk about COVID? I don't know, because we still don't see people wearing masks or anything like that. So it's like this world that they're building, it's not the world that we're living in. And if they get to go into a season 2, I hope it gets to grow and grow and grow and grow. You know, it's like Harlem. It's a Harlem of a parallel universe, right? That's what we're getting. Really nice shots of Harlem. Really made me want to go out to a restaurant and have a cocktail. I love old fashions. That's one of my favorite drinks. And I've done enough talking. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please continue to check in. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my recaps. And I'm wishing y'all all an awesome, awesome weekend. See you for the next one. Bye.